Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here with Curt Gammer from Gammer Coin. We filmed an awesome video about some British coinage and we decided to move on to some standout European non-British coinage. So we're just going to do sort of a show and tell. There's a ton of cool history that Curt is going to be explaining, and I don't know too much about these coins anyway. So, all the viewers out there and myself will all be learning. So thanks, Curt, for showing these coins.
Thank you for having me, Christian.
So I think we'll start from somewhat the smallest to the largest here, and this one is definitely the smallest. But what are we looking at?
We're looking at a very thin 6 denomination Holy Roman Emperor. We have Leopold I here with his laurels. He's definitely emperor. Weak strike on the face, but I don't collect this coin for the obverse. I collect it for the reverse. Flip it over. We have this great scene of Mary with child. Mary with Jesus, the Madonna and child. 1671. At the very bottom, at about 6 o'clock, you can see the coat of arms of the nation of Hungary. Still their official coat of arms today. And we have Madonna, we have her face, we have Jesus' face. Got this North Star behind her. Super cool, enthroned with sun rays. Obviously, this is not the best condition, or the best strike. But on nicer examples, you'll see a lot more details. She's holding a scepter and an orb.
Yeah, and 1671. I mean, that's a really old coin. So is this a super expensive coin, or what's the deal here?
Not at all. For this 350, she turns 350 this year. $15 to $30 in this condition.
Wow.
There are so many undervalued world coins, and look how thin this coin is. This is by far the thinnest coin I own. Mm-hmm. I have a decently large-sized collection. For me to be, this is my biggest, this is my thinnest, it's got to be extreme. I mean, I have fingernails that are thicker than this coin.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great reminder. There's so many affordable pieces. That's one of the reasons I like looking at World, talking about World on the channel. Like, if this was a U.S. coin from 1700s, all that stuff is crazy.
It'd be like a pine tree shilling.
Yeah.
It'd be a pine tree shilling.
No, so that's a good start. This one obviously a lot thicker, a lot chunkier, and it's got the Wilhelm König. So
a whole lot newer too.
Gotcha.
We have a Wurttemberg in southern Germany. 1862 Verenz Thaler. Love this coin. I mean, awesomely paper-toned, slider condition, great surfaces. Oh, I love the lighting in this coin.
Yeah, it's what sort of context would this have been struck in?
Okay, so the silver was locally mined. Okay. This could have been issued for a week's pay, depending on how skilled you were for the miner mining the silver. And we have that great. This is, what's on the edge here?
It looks like Munsfer.
He's talking about. They're talking about where the coin comes from, who it is. There's some interesting edge inscriptions. This one is kind of run of the mill, but on the obverse here we have a sort of basic portrait of Wilhelm. If we just flip it over, he does have a mustache. This coin is. Maybe I'm overgrading it at slider, but I love the surfaces on this coin. But when you flip it over, this is why I love this coin. And I hunt deer, and for this awesome royal stag with the crowned lion with the knight's helmet with a crown on top of it. I mean, come on.
That's awesome.
The date, 1862. So while the United States was blowing each other to bits with muskets, these guys were making awesome coins. We have basically the coat of arms telling us that he's from the House of Wurttemberg, and then some other nobility house, telling you this is who my grandparents are and how important they are. This is a great coin. I mean, and any deer hunters will know that buck would be a pleasure to shoot.
Yeah, I don't hunt deer, but I'd imagine that that is a pretty elegant looking stag. Before we move on to the next coin, in terms of the Taler, I mean, this is a very well known sort of denomination. Do you know what the Vereins Taler is? That like a local Taler, or what does that mean?
So that is actually, they did a currency reform in the 1770s. And you compare it to the actual Taler, as I like to call them. We'll touch on this coin a little bit later, but look at the difference in size.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. It's basically the difference between a Morgan dollar and a Sacagawea dollar.
Okay. That
makes sense.
Comparison.
Devaluation of the currency,
Yep.
a little bit of inflation, you have a less valuable coin in terms of intrinsicity.
And this one, again, just general price ranges was like 15 to 30. What sort of value is this? Because I don't want to forget to sort of give people a range.
$100 to $200.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, a very affordable piece of history. This one, this is a chunky piece of silver. It's, screams history, but maybe you can fill us in on the rest.
This is a Revolutionary War era Louis XV, the son of the sun god, Louis XIV, known for building Versailles. This guy was known for enjoying it. Quite the party animal this guy was.
Oh, wow.
We got this crown-sized coin this coin found its way to Montreal, where I sourced this coin. Could have been used in the colonies. Awesome die alignment marks. And usually these come so unattractive. Holding the planchet down can leave impressions on the coin from the mint. This is not damaged. And these come really nice. It almost plays into the date. We have 1773, Latin.
What a date.
I mean, we flip this over. Obviously, that's the crest of the House of Bourbon with the crown over it, their regal family. Louis XV, King of France, and something.
Yep.
And then we have the laureled head of Louis XV. And he's obviously letting his mullet hang in this one.
Yeah. The other thing, and I had seen an Instagram post that you had done about this, but there's a little, there's some scratches, what beyond scratches are there?
There's a little bit more than scratches. I was hoping you'd mention that. On my Instagram, at Gammercoin, yeah. I had to do a little shameless self-plug.
Oh,
here.
yeah, and it'll be down here in the corner,
I do feature and demonstrate. This lighting is a little bit bad. These
We're
are
gonna
not
zoom in.
scratches. These are amateur, learning, maybe apprentice engraver. This coin to practice. Maybe he just did the date. Because we can see July 2nd, left side of the coin in front of his face.
With the Y kind of cutting for people struggling, cutting into the neck, and then over here.
1854. Kind of smushed in here. It's like his boss was telling him to get back to work or something.
Yeah.
But this is it could be a love token. It could be some guy just trying to save the date. I call this a save the date coin.
Cool. No, that's really neat. And again, interesting. And another thing that you had mentioned, and I'll just tell the viewers in case they hadn't heard, but a lot of this sort of thing would have been circulating in the colonies. It wasn't like, the colonial currency or all the way up to 1857. And then even beyond that, silver coinage from around the world was all throughout the world, and certainly in the colonies in the early states. So fun to think about that. Now, the next, I think I'm going to bundle these two together.
Speaking of the colonies, and speaking of large silver coins with history, let's pull up both of those. El Cazador, which was the shipwreck. These are shipwreck or presumed El Cazador. Sorry, I have to preface it with that. It's not like someone threw these in their toilet bowl for 200 years. These were in the ocean for quite a long time. One more preserved than other. I think you can tell which one.
And when you say before, just a quick pause. So El Cazador, that's a shipwreck.
That is a shipwreck from 1783. From Veracruz on the Gulf of Mexico. 37,500 pounds of silver sent from Mexico City Mint. We can see the mint mark here, the O over the M.
Yep, a classic. That's
instantly recognizable to our Mexican collectors. Definitely an iconic mint. Shipped from Mexico City Mint to New Orleans, to the Louisiana territory, which at that brief span of time was actually under the control of the Spanish. We think of that as the Louisiana Territory buying it from the French. Before that, it was the Spaniards. Lots of instability in the region. No one was getting paid with hard money, gold and silver. Instead, worthless paper. Charles III, he decided, hey, these people need to be paid so they don't walk off the job. So let's send silver, hard money, to them by boat. Send 38,000 pounds of silver across the Gulf of Mexico, no problem, right? 50 miles off the coast of New Orleans, its destination. Things get a little bit hairy. They think it was a storm, I believe. Somehow gets lost, run aground, shipwreck. believe everyone lost. I can't confirm that.
Okay.
People
But
died.
this is a big wreck.
This is a big wreck, 50 miles off the coast. I mean, we're talking thousands upon thousands of these coins being found. Fast forward to 1994. Fishing boat called the Mistake
Oh, wow.
throws out its net, and by mistake, see what I did there? Picks up these silver crowns in its nets. It's like, holy smokes, guys. Holy smokes.
That's got to be quite a, the unboxing on that one would be, if there were a live stream for that, would be wild.
Could you imagine? Maybe we can organize something. We'll go on the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
We're looking for pirate treasure.
Exactly. That would be quite a video. But here are these coins. And what sort of, people like shipwreck coinage. I think certainly it's got appeal to people who aren't as involved necessarily with collecting. What are these coins worth? Obviously I know I was speaking with Matt from World Coin South FL. He was saying how important the papers were. You mentioned it. What are these coins worth?
So these are undocumented coins. As is $150.
Gotcha.
$150 without papers. With papers, $200. So that's an expensive piece of paper. Got to have it signed by the guy who found these or some certification process. The thing is, I can't tell you. That's a video for another day. My rant about certificates of authenticity. Very expensive pieces of paper is all I call them.
Awesome. Anything on these before we move on?
Yeah, I mean that coin was definitely stuck in between quite a few, because we have very little pitting on that one. So this one actually is a very weak strike on the reverse. Shame that the weakly struck one was well preserved and the well struck one wasn't so well preserved. Let's put that one weakly struck one down and let's take a look at the pitting on this one. I just want to demonstrate because this is what a shipwreck coin should look like. We have this beautiful scene of the Straits of Gibraltar, the Pillars of Hercules, which represent the beginnings of the New World, right, in Greek mythology. We have plus ultra, beyond something. I don't speak Latin. We have the entire crest legible, et en rex, Mexico City, 8 real, FM, that's the assayer. We even have the tiny globe with the cross above the crown.
That's cool.
So cool.
That's historical.
Hispania. We flip it over. We can see Charles III. See his brooch. We can see his cloak. We can see each panel of armor. Date 1777. Carlos III. Dre. Gracia. Gracia gets a bit fuzzy here. That's the only part where it's fuzzy. You can see the IA in Gracia, 1777. This is what, you can see his spaghetti hair. See his wreath. You can see his ear and his earlobe. Eyes and that little cheeky smirk. It's like, you found me.
Yeah, no, after all those years. Maybe I'm really excited to talk about this one, but, right here, when I was pulling it out, the reverse is going to be, and you can even see in this lighting a little bit of color there, but a gorgeous reverse on what I assume is a 5 lire from Italy.
It's a 5 lira from, I believe this is Piedmont Mint. You can tell from that little eagle. Talk about a mint mark, huh? What if we had done symbols instead of letters? I think that would have been really cool. This is an 1826 Sardinia, Italian states. So obviously, just like Germany, Italy wasn't always unified. That would be until the 1860s, and Garibaldi and the red shirts did that. We have the king of Sardinia here, Felix. I'm pretty sure it's Felix.
Let's see. He's put it on there. CAR Felix.
I could be wrong. If anyone in the comments is an expert on or has a Wikipedia page available to them, you could find out.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
coin knocks you out, doesn't it?
Totally. I love all the big world coins, and especially from the states. German states, Italian states. I know a lot less about, but
this is one of the most attractive Italian states coins I've ever owned in terms of color, and hyper blue color. This is unreal. This is the definition of cabinet toning. I purchased this from an estate of the daughter of a dealer who died. He kept these coins on velvet since the 1940s.
Wow. That's this is a gorgeous coin, and it's super fun to check out. I want to jump to the next one, maybe value and if there's something I don't know what I don't know.
I could.
What if without the toning, what would this be worth?
You could get one on eBay, dipped and cleaned for $100.
No, I mean,
but
again,
this coin is far off.
A big 1820s silver coin for $100. That's awesome.
I have this coin priced at $350 with color.
Gotcha. No, it's just to get an estimate, and then this is gonna be the this is what we're waiting for.
Here we go. 1651 Taler of Ferdinand III. Right after, so there's a little bit of fighting going on in Spain and Hispania about Catholics versus Protestants, French versus Austrian, all sorts of crazy mumbo jumbo. But out of this, Austria doesn't really win. It doesn't really lose. Okay, so it doesn't have the humiliating defeat of losing to its enemies, but it doesn't have that glorious victory that they really wanted going into this.
Gotcha. And how does that translate onto the coin?
Coins of this size and of that period were usually tools of propaganda. As you can tell from the VF condition of this coin, it did circulate, but it was super important to depict the emperor as a warrior king. We have the laureled head, regal. He has the gift from God to rule over man. You have him draped in this super crazy 17th century armor, gaiter, and you have the Order of the Garter here, which is an award, the Austrian Order of the Golden Fleece, which is only awarded to Catholic monarchs. This guy's the real deal. He's been through some stuff. We have the date here, hidden in the corner, 1651.
How cool is that?
I love the date hidden there.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about design. You have his pointy beard. You got his big nose. Just a cool coin. I nerd out over stuff like this. You flip it over, we got one of the most complicated reverses I think that I've ever seen.
Yeah. What? Maybe do you know anything about it?
Yes. This is also his lineage. So we can see that he comes from different noble houses.
That's what I assume.
There's the House of
12 or
House of Wurttemberg. So basically, the Wurttemberg one that we showed previously was who our grandparents were. This is who my great grandparents were, and they're all super cool.
Gotcha.
So we have random house, or not random, very well selected. I mean, to me they're random, but at the time,
no, this was a big deal probably. Who made it on?
This was as the kids call it, a flexing on the haters, flexing on the Protestants.
Yeah.
We have the crown here. All of these families are nobility, and divine right to rule for all of them. Super cool. We have this ornate gaiter here. This was actually worn around the neck for monarchs. We have another Order of the Garter here at about 6 o'clock. You have some more Latin characters. Look at the embellishment next to the letters. Too.
Yeah.
This coin is really well made. There's 2 heritage auction appearances going back 20 years for the date, I believe. Anyone can fact check me. One in AU, one in MS.
And what were those? Obviously the market probably changed since they. But what were the comps?
Low 4 figures in 2010. To me, out of the 3 known, the worst known. You guys saw finest known in the last video. This is a worst known to me, at least. And I don't think this coin is very worst to anything, in my opinion.
It doesn't detract too much. I mean, you can tell.
Because something that's really appealing about this coin is not only is it ornate, not only is it intricate, not only is it full of historical value, but it also was there. That's circulated. That could have been paid to a soldier of the 30 Years' War. It probably was. They got to get their money too.
Yeah, with a strong depiction of the man who is behind it all. So, I mean, this is a great coin. Thank you so much. I'm trying to think. Sometimes I miss anything in closing that you would want to say about this group.
To any U.S. coin collectors intimidated about the prices or the rarity, start buying what you like for what you can afford. And it will take you places and show you things that you never thought existed.
That's great. I mean, that's certainly that's sort of the mantra of the hobby as well. So thank you so much for being on. And I think I know we're going to do one video after this on a special coin. So I'll look forward to releasing that video.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening to me, guys.
Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a website, treasuretownYT.com, where you should go so that you can learn more about coins as well as what's happening on the channel and possibly find a place to sell your coins and collectibles. I also want to talk about some of my other projects like coinmeltprice.com, which shows precious metals prices as well as the melt values of coins containing those precious metals, both US and world. I also have coinsmetalscards.com, which will develop into a full marketplace as well as a news source for coins, metals, cards, as the name might suggest. And then treasuretowncoins.com, which long term will be my coin dealing entity separate from the channel. And lastly, whatsthegrade.com, which will be a stickering service for already certified collectibles where you can get a approval or verification of the grade on the holder. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos.